I was mistakenly arrested as a serial package thief because my twin was the actual culprit last month. I was handcuffed in front of my neighbors while walking my dog because I perfectly matched the description of a serial package thief who'd been terrorizing our neighborhood. Fred out the thief was my identical twin sister who I hadn't spoken to in 3 years and who apparently moved to my neighborhood without telling me. I was walking my Corgi Max at 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday when a police car slowly drove past me, then made a U-turn and parked. The officer watched me for a minute, then called for backup. When minutes 3 police cars surrounded me, I assumed there was some dangerous situation nearby and they were securing the area. Then an officer approached with his hand on his holster and told me to put down the dog leash and put my hands where he could see them. Confused but not wanting to escalate things, I complied. They handcuffed me right there on the sidewalk as neighbors peeked through windows and a few even came outside to watch. "We've been looking for you for weeks," one officer said. "Got you on camera stealing packages from at least 12 different houses." I laughed, thinking this was some bizarre misunderstanding. "I've never stolen anything in my life. You have the wrong person. We have crystal clear footage," he replied. "Hind face, same height, same walk, even the same jacket you are wearing right now." They showed me a still from a security camera and I froze. The person did look exactly like me, same face, same hernto, even wearing a similar green jacket to the one I had on. "But it wasn't me, that's my twin sister," I said. "We're identical, but that's not me." The officers exchanged glances, clearly not believing me. They read me my rights and put me in the back of a patrol car while my poor dog whined on the sidewalk. A neighbor I barely knew volunteered to take him home. At the police station, they sat me in an interrogation room for over an hour. When the detective finally came in, he had a folder of evidence photos from various security cameras, showing someone who looked exactly like me stealing packages in broad daylight. "Look," I said, "I have an identical twin sister named Rachel. We haven't spoken in 3 years after a falling out. Last I heard she was living in Colorado. I had no idea she was in this area, but that is her, not me." The detective looked skeptical, more lenient. "Do you have any way to prove you have a twin?" I asked for my phone and pulled up old family photos, showing the two of us together. Then I showed them my work time card system, which proved I was at my office during several of the thefts. Finally, I mentioned the birthmark on my left shoulder that Rachel doesn't have. They verified everything, including the birthmark, and their demeanor completely changed. Suddenly, they were apologetic and asking for any information I had on Rachel's whereabouts. I was released with profuse apologies, but the story wasn't over. The next morning, an officer called to inform me they'd arrested Rachel trying to steal a package 2 streets over from my house. She'd apparently moved to my neighborhood 6 months ago without telling me or our family. When they questioned her, she admitted she knew I lived nearby. She'd even seen me walking Max several times and deliberately avoided me when asked why she was stealing in her own neighborhood where she might be recognized. She said if anyone saw me, they'd think it was my sister. She deliberately dressed like me, styled her hair like mine, and targeted houses close to my usual dog walking route. The detective later told me she had a storage unit filled with stolen packages, mostly unopened. She wasn't stealing out of necessity. She had a good job and a nice apartment. When asked why, she simply said it was exciting and convenient to have someone else to blame. Rachel is now facing multiple felony charges, and I am left explaining to my neighbors that no, I wasn't arrested for theft, and yes, I have an evil twin. It sounds like a bad symptom, but it's my actual life. The only silver lining, my neighbors now religiously bring my packages inside for me immediately, just to be safe.